evening, Julien. How are you this evening?
Good morning, Max. I'm doing good. I'm actually doing good. You seem to be pretty joyful as well. What's happening in your world?
Actually, the world is moving on, and I'm not really joyful about it, but I'm resigned to it. I This is sort of I don't know. Is booking a vacation rental a travel story? I guess it is. So this is yet another travel story. There is, in California, where I am, a little bit north of Monterey, there is an area called Pajaro Dunes. And they have a handful of vacation houses and a whole lot of condos, all just right on the water. Beautiful spot, great place to be. Weather can be cold and foggy, but just a really nice thing, and it's less than a 2-hour drive from here to there. I'm looking to go there, and my parents even bought a place there at one point and lived there for a couple of years, but they regularly would go there and stay. And there was a kind of a local property management company that also managed all of the rentals. And so you'd go there and you'd look and back in the day you called and, here are the dates I want, here's how many people, and they'd figure out one, we got this one's a little more expensive, but it's the best view. We got this one, it's a little less expensive, but the view isn't quite as much. And, you figure out what you wanted and you do your rental. And they've evolved somewhat. They now have a website. And I'm like, okay, well, good. Let's go see what they have. I'm looking to stay there coming up. And I went out and looked, and it was like, how many people in your party? How many bedrooms do you want? I don't know how many bedrooms I want. I'll give you a number of people I think it is, but you tell me what my options are for that many people. And I went to one thing and it was like, what are your dates? And it came back and said, I don't have anything those dates. And then I realized I had inadvertently put in a very narrow search thing, so I had to redo the search thing. And this is a long way of saying their web interface was worthless. Figuring out what was available. And then the list you got back was really hard to tell, and you had to dig way deep to get to a point where you could see how much it was going to cost. So I bet you already know where this is going. Airbnb had some. Actually, this one was VRBO. And, boom, it's the true proper web experience. Here's the list of them. Here's the little pins. I can see where it is exactly in the building. I can get all the details. I can see which hosts are well recommended. I can see the price right there. I don't have to predefine how many bedrooms I want. It's all, just from a customer user experience, there's no comparison. There's just absolutely no comparison. And, I guess the property management company is just going to have to get out of the booking business because they can't compete. There's here's someone who's like, out of pure nostalgia, I just desperately want to use these guys. And it's just, I'm sure I could call them and I'd get somebody very nice, but it would take 3 calls to get through and a day and a half. And it's just like, no, I'm not, I'm nostalgic, but I'm not a Luddite for the sake of being a Luddite. I'm going to go to the site that's efficient. And it's just, how the world has evolved. And it's kind of sad to see the change. And it's appropriate and it's good, but it's sad.
Well, there are so many things to say about it. It reminds me of some other stories. Remember when a few weeks ago I told you about that hotel manager I got to cry in Australia, and I explained a little bit how the OTA business works, right? Online travel agents, and we live in a world where you no longer have a choice. You can't just rely on phone and nearby neighbors. You got to have a website, and you got to be online, and you
Right.
got to be digital, right? Otherwise, you miss 99.9% of the business. So they were probably right in creating a website. Where they got things wrong is here you got a customer who asked for one thing and one thing only is take my money. Just make it work, figure it out. And they managed to lose that customer, which truly is a shame, because it's already, if you can't even lock the customers who want to buy, how are you going to convince those who are not even sure they actually want to buy?
Right.
On top of that, going back to the OTAs, it's so difficult to fight against Airbnb, bookings, Agoda, all those guys. They are huge. They are gigantic. You can survive without them anymore. So if your website does not even work, we're not even asking about something super complex. We're just let me book what I need. Don't make it too complex.
Right.
Sometimes it's just about
Right.
simplifying things.
And the other is when you search Pajaro Dunes Rentals, that the company that used to do all the booking, their item, there's 600 ads in front of them, and the other guys are optimized for SEO and things. They show up way down the list. So I had to fight just to find them.
Which is, I mean, it's sad, but it's normal. Very few companies could actually appear in the first results of Google. So now you do find them, and I understand the frustration you went through, because I found it so. In my last story, I was telling you that now I always go direct booking. I try to go to the hotel's website, and assuming they make it easy enough, I'm going to buy from them versus going through an OTA, because I know how much of a cut they take, how much margin they take. But it has to be easy. And very often you have to go through all those different filters just to end up on nothing correspond to your criteria. Please try again. And that is so frustrating. Where you do have some websites, I don't know which, maybe Amazon does this, I'm not even sure, where each time you add a criteria, they tell you out of 2,000 options, now 150 are available. You add your other filter, 38 are available. You add it, and then you start knowing which one you want to add or remove until you get a sufficient number of options.
Right. This is a compromise I'm okay making, and it triples the number of options I have. Okay, let's take that filter off. Yeah, exactly.
And another option is live chat. Having an actual agent who is here on the website. After you spend 30 seconds scratching your head, you get that automatic pop-up and, hey, can I actually help you? Maybe it would be easier just for us to have a chat, and I'm going to help you book exactly what you need. It seems you're having a hard time with our website. That's another option. There are millions of options out there, but leaving the customer disappointed, actually drop the website after it was so hard to find it in the first place, definitely not the right option.
Sad. It's sad. Yeah.
But as you said, they're probably not in the booking business. They are in the maintenance business. They are making sure that your travel is as lovely as possible. But they're maybe not in the booking business. Maybe they need to outsource that to a third party that's going to do it better. And maybe that's when the OTAs actually come in.
Yeah. Well, and whether that's their plan, that is what's happened to them. So yeah. That is kind of the state of their art, because they've got it, and I'm sure they get some that way, and I'm sure they get more money with it. But it was just a completely unsatisfying experience doing it that way.
Well, in the end, you're going to go where you wanted to go, just not necessarily the way you wanted to do it. So what should I do? Just wish you enjoy your holidays then?
Yeah, I think that's the right thing. This is kind of a no harm, no foul. If I hadn't had the experience where this was a place my parents used to go, I would have never even thought to look for the property manager's company and all of that. I would have just, the Airbnb or Airbnb or whoever, and great, do it, did it, awesome. So, yeah, this is a little bit of too much nostalgia and too much knowing the history. But 99% of the people would never know.
You know why? You know what? Once you get there, try to have a face-to-face chat with the owner or the manager or whoever is there. I'm guessing if it's as family oriented as I believe it is, the guy might just drop you his personal number, his WhatsApp, whatever it is Facebook Messenger contact. That next time you can book directly through messaging versus having to go through the website. That's probably this kind of relationship of small boutique business. Try it out and let us know. We need a follow-up on this one.
All right, that sounds good. It'll be a while. We're not staying there for a while yet, but we'll get there.
Perfect. Well, enjoy waiting for your holiday then. And then I will talk to you next week. I believe that's going to be our last story of the year, actually, next week. So let's see what we come up with.
All right, that sounds great. Thanks, Julien.
Perfect. Talk to you soon. Thank you, Max. Bye.
All righty. Take care. I feel better, by the way. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.